pretty big audience today behind us.
All the chickens.
There's Steve over there. Yep.
Everyone always wants to see what we're doing.
Hey everybody, how's everybody doing today? Hope everybody had a great, wonderful day or having a great, wonderful day. So, we did something kind of bad. We stole something from the chickens.
We did.
But, we're still replacing with just something, the same thing, just smaller. But, anywho.
If you saw that very beginning part, and anyone who has pigs knows,
That don't work.
buckets don't work. They tip them over. You have to come down about every hour.
Almost.
And check their water. And
right now, we don't have that kind of time with working and everything.
we knew we were going to go to a pig nipple waterer, but we just didn't know we were going to have to do it like right now.
We've got a thought design
Hey, Mr. Bumblebee.
that should hopefully, we're hoping that using like our water catchment, 25-gallon tote that we had in the chickens, we've got a 15-gallon that we'll replace with them because
It's just like it.
it's just like it. It'll fit right back up to it. All I had to do is unscrew the old one and I can screw the new one back up here in a second. But we did the 25 gallons for down here because, well, they drink a little bit more than the chickens. Plus the chickens, half of them are going over to Steve's trough and just drinking out of his thing.
Yeah, they have just given up on their little watering cups because Steve has this big trough, and they're like, well, that's just easier.
Yeah, they just go over there half the time. So we're gonna we got one of those little nipples. So we've got one of our little nipples that I'm using, and it's a 1/2-inch thread on this, and so I've just got it screwed into a piece of PVC, and I'm hoping they won't break this because we're going to hook it just straight into that tote from the bottom where I had the watering system going out for the chickens. We're hoping that idea will work. For right now, since they're kind of small, this will probably work. And we've got a water line run down here. The other thought we also had was just get us like a board or something down here and we could just feed this directly into it. But
if something happened
to the
pipe
line
or the line,
then they'd be out of water. So we're thinking,
and well, we'd be out of water.
Yeah, we'd be out of water too. So we're at least hoping that this would be good enough and sustain them for a little bit if they had this reserve that we can just easily fill up real quick.
If we're checking it in the morning and then in the afternoon and maybe again at night, we can make sure that this little sprayer tote stays full.
Stays full. So let's get busy on our thoughts and ideas of how to do this.
We're going to install a nipple waterer.
Now we just need to find a good spot to put it.
I like that.
And the idea is also to put it in a spot to where we're going to have it to where if they do get a little messy, instead of putting a little platform in front of it, maybe the water will run downhill a little bit
to their waller.
And they won't try to make a walla right in front of it. Okay, so pigs, they can get a little destructive. So my idea is I'm coming straight off the bottom what I had before. And I'm going to put the nipple right along the edge of that board. And that way, I'm going to put me a piece of that like plumber's tape, I call it, with all the holes in it, and try to screw it down to this to try to hold that into place so that they don't try to push it around. Plus, this will be connected to some T-posts back here in the back and strapped on real tight so that it doesn't move when they push on it. Or at least that's up here in the idea box.
No, don't.
You do one hand, I do one hand.
That's your, no.
This is my bad shoulder.
You know, we have an electric one, or a gas-powered one.
Yeah, you didn't bring it? And I just put, you know, 2 cinder blocks, a board, and put this to go up on top of it. We've got 2 T-posts behind it so that it really won't get pushed anywhere. So that now we can get the right length I'm going to need to just come off of here. So like I said, this is a 1/2 inch. I just went by and to want to see how they really are. I'm one of those kind of people, I like to see it before just ordering straight offline. And $6 or something like that at Tractor Supply, I think. You can find them online. I think I found like a 10-pack for like $15. So I may just get those because they seem like they work pretty good. And it's even got a point to where if you want to crank it into some metal real tight. But like I said, this is 1/2 inch threaded going into a 1/2 inch female threaded with a slip on the back end where I just put the PVC to, and I'm going to glue it to that existing piece that I had back here. Alright, so yeah, we're bringing this across. I've got a little gap, so what I'm going to do is put me a little piece like this as a spacer, and that little bit of a tilt down won't be too bad. Run me a piece of my plumbing tape. Yeah, that seems pretty sturdy to me. And those screws should fit pretty well so that I can screw back board over here. I'm going to put these last 2 little holes as well.
I don't think it's going anywhere.
I think that'll probably work. I think that's pretty close to being pig-proof-ish. We will find out as soon as they start really messing with it. So, let's see how well our idea with the water over there reaches just perfect. Man, it's like we almost planned it that way. Seems like it's going to work pretty decent. Plus, you know, once you put the extra water weight in here, that's going to help out. I mean, my gravity flow, that's coming from...
That's loud.
Well, that's actually 300 feet going downhill-ish. Well, actually downhill-ish, a little bit of an uphill-ish. But, you know, the pressure of all that just flowing. So, it'll fill up a little slow, but, you know, as we're doing it, you know, each day we come out and just turn it on.
You hit it morning, afternoon, and last check in the evening. Shouldn't be too bad.
Shouldn't be a problem at all. Won't take that long just to tap it off. Alrighty. Well, our memory card went dead or full, so you didn't get to see me going, huh, why was there no water coming out of this thing? But I got a bucket of water, their little pan right here. Hopefully that'll lure them over to the nipple. But in the nipple, there's a little bit of water that just kind of sits in there. And so that looks like a pretty good little flow coming out. I don't know if anybody's got pigs. If that does look like it, it might be. But this one also, I had to take out this little bitty white piece. And I'm guessing that is because it would be hooked up to a pressurized system, you know, with pressure. So it's just got that little bitty hole going through there. And so if you had a pressurized system, like you ran it off your well or your house water, you know, something that had pressure to it, or a pump, it would probably work really great. But with that little piece in there, on this style that I got, so in case if y'all get one that has a little bitty water safety or water saver piece in there,
and you're running off a bucket or a tote,
and if you're running off a tote or something like that that's just gravity fed, you'll probably have to take it out like I did, because it was just dripping out with this thing in there.
Like a literal drip.
Yeah, just like literal drip. So taking that little piece out, and it's in the back. Like I said, the memory card went dead when I was playing with this. Didn't even realize it, or full. It goes in the back end of this thing where you screw it. You unscrew it, and it's right there in the back end. But that looks like to me enough flow coming out for them to grab onto, because they'll just bite it and suck. And so hopefully with their little water bucket here, and with that little pool of water that sits in this nipple, they should hopefully smell it and come over here and know where it's at. We're just going to have to keep a good eye on them just to see. So, not too bad of a little quick setup. I'm hoping it's going to work pretty good. You know, just like I said, a couple T-posts held it together. This was just one of those old sprayer tanks. And the only thing we still need to do, we've got it all set up just to see how it would work. Then I'm going to come back over here. I'm probably going to let the water get a little lower into it. Then take it back off from them away real quick so that I can spray it black. Because a little less chances for the algae to grow in here if you spray it black. Probably heat up the water in the summertime a little bit, but I don't think they're too picky about warm water. I'm hoping not. I hope they don't complain too much. I don't want to put ice cubes in this thing all summer. But so yeah, just gotta spray it black, and I'll be finished with this one. It's finished, but not finished. So I think that's working pretty good. Can't wait to see them do it. They're been such a little joy to have. So
they're right behind you.
Are they sneaking up on me? Oh no, they're way back there. They're all obviously had a rough day watching me do stuff. Y'all have a great, wonderful one out there. Can't wait to see y'all till next time. Later.